Welcome back, friends, to Uma's and Opa's Lifestyle. Today I'm going to show you how to make the beef dog food. We made the chicken dog food a couple of weeks ago, and believe it or not, ours is gone, so it's time to make more. I try to rotate beef and chicken. Sometimes I make both. What we have in 3 cups of white rice and 4.5 cups of the bone broth that we cook the bones in. And we cook the rice until all the moisture is absorbed. We have 3 cups of elbow macaroni and 6 cups of broth. That will also cook down where there is no broth left when the elbow macaroni is done, so none of that goodness gets lost. We have 8 cups of raw broccoli. I just kind of shredded it up in the food processor, but not really fine. I don't cook it before I put it in. We have 4 cups of sweet potato, and they're diced in 1/2-inch dices. We have 4 cups of butternut squash, also diced 1/2-inch. We have 4 cups of carrots that I also ran through the food processor just a little bit, just to get them a little cut out. I have 8 cups of white potatoes that I cooked in the broth. And then we have our meat, 3.5 pounds of meat. As I put this together, I'm also going to be adding broth, additional broth, because all this stuff is going to soak the broth up. What we're going to do is we're going to start with the rice. I'm going to add that in. We're going to start with the elbow macaroni. I know this looks a lot, but once it gets all mixed up, it will mix up really quick. We're going to go ahead and mix this a little bit. You can mix as you go, so that it helps a lot when you mix everything together in the end. We bought half a beef, about 2 or 3 months ago, and the butcher shop asked you if you want the bones or you don't. We always take the bones because we can do bone broth and for our dogs. We still have some left over, so what we did is I took about 10 pounds of beef bones. I put it in this roaster, turkey roaster, overnight. It simmered for about 12 to 14 hours. Then I took the bones out and I got all the meat off of the bones. It smelled so good. I also added some bouillon, that Knorr bouillon, beef bouillon. I added some of that. And I like to put my broth in the refrigerator overnight, and then the next morning I take all the fat off the top. And there was a lot this time. There was almost a 1/2-inch layer. If you have dogs, hunting dogs, active dogs, you could leave that in because they need more energy. My dogs are not active, so I take all that fat out. I don't leave it in. I refrigerated the broth, took the fat off this morning, and then I boiled everything we have here. Everything you see is cooked in broth. So there's no goodness going to waste here at all. We're going to add the 8 cups of broccoli. We're going to add, I can't hardly read, the 8 cups of potatoes. When you boil your potatoes and your squash and your sweet potatoes, you don't want to boil them all the way. You don't want to get them done all the way because they'll turn to mush here. You want to get them done about half done, and then they will absorb some more moisture in this dog food, and they become soft on their own. Alright, here is our sweet potato. Same thing, when you boil it, don't cook it all the way, just about halfway. And our carrots. What I did with the carrots, I put them in a large container and I put some broth in there and I put it in the microwave. I just simmered it in the microwave for about 10 minutes. It's not a boiling, it's just a simmering, but it gets them just soft enough to where they're not raw anymore. So you got to make sure you really get this mixed up good. This is really good. Now we're putting the squash in there. Here we go. Squash. And last but not least, we're going to put the beef in here. This don't look like much beef, but I promise you it's a bunch of beef. And what we're going to do now, going to get our beef broth and add beef broth to this. We've had a lot of people watch our chicken dog food video, and we appreciate everybody that watched it and subscribed and liked. That helps us. As you know, we're just getting started and we're trying our best. I hope you like our videos and I hope they're helpful to you. Alright, we're going to get our beef broth, and I only have a very little bit left here. So we're just going to put some in here. This is not going to be soggy. It's going to get absorbed by all this stuff. but it's going to give it a wonderful, wonderful flavor. So let me tell you about my beef broth. Beef bones have a lot of collagen in there. My beef broth turned to gel this time around. It never had done it before, but this time it did. I did some research on collagen from beef broth, and what I found out, it is highly digestible and good for the digestive system if your dog has issues with that. Including beef broth into your dog's diet accounts for, it will help maintain the joint health and the muscles and the bone health and their coat. It just is really good all the way around. So if you make this and your beef broth turns into gel overnight, don't be alarmed. It will get liquid again once you warm it back up, and it is really, really good, and you should incorporate as much of it as you can. This is really good for bone, for the dog bones. I like it because, as you know, Milo's had 2 knee replacements, so this is really beneficial to him. I will post this recipe in the comments below, so you will have it. The dogs have already ate. I put a little bit together, and they've already ate one portion of it, so they're ready for it. But this is all there is to it. The prep takes a little while. It took me, about 3 hours. But once you get the hang of it, it doesn't take very long. And I just cannot even explain how much they like. If you like our videos, if you like what we're showing you, please like and subscribe and share it. I am going to show you how to package this up. I will be back to do that as soon as I get everything ready. So I've done my dishes, and I've bagged up the dog food, and then I vacuum seal it. So I have 6 packages of 3 pounds each. I got 6 of those, and then this is about 4 pounds right here. This is what I'm leaving out to feed them tonight, and I will show you right after we're done here how much they love this stuff. But what I do, I have a little secret vacuum sealing these things. I don't know if you've ever wanted to vacuum seal a piece of meat and you didn't think it was juicy, but then lo and behold, the juice came up and it wouldn't seal right. So what I do is I take gallon bags, and you can do the cheapest ones you can find in the dollar store, and then I make a bag with my vacuum sealer, and I put that in, and then I vacuum seal it. And there you go. You have a package of 3 pounds of dog food. There is no juice up here because you double bagged it. So I'm going to show you again. I put 3 pounds in this bag. I weigh them approximately. And then I close the zip lock almost all the way. And then I just press this until all the air is out like this. And then I take one of my bags and I put them in here. Gets vacuum sealed, and none of the juices. And there you go. You have 3 pounds of dog food. Now, this, because it's double sealed, this will not freezer burn. You can keep it in the freezer a pretty long time, and you could make up a couple of batches or 3 and just freeze them all at one time, and you wouldn't have to make any. Depends on what your dog eats, and I go by what our dogs eat. We have a large dog and a small dog, and 3 pounds usually lasts us for 3 days, 6 meals. So that's how I package it up. The beef broth, I was talking about beef bones and that we bought a side of beef. I realized they're not always available in the store. What you might want to do is to go to your local butcher shop and request that they keep the bones for you. When we got our half-side beef, they asked us if we wanted the bones, and I said, of course. So I don't know what they do with the bones if you don't take them. I don't know if they just discard them or what, so you might want to ask around. But this is a really cheap way to make your dog food, and it's so nutritious for them. Every time you feed them some, I either put it in the dog food or I just put a little bit, the turmeric, put a little bit over it. They love it and they eat it, and I hope what you saw here today you like. If so, please subscribe and like and share our videos. We will be back soon, and thank you for watching. Bye.